Imagine you're trying to learn something new, but instead of understanding it, you're just memorizing it. You might pass the test, but a week later, it's gone. Constructivist learning theory. Constructivism in learning. So, that difference between memorizing and actually understanding is what constructivism is all about. According to our textbook, meaningful learning occurs when people actively try to make sense of the world by filtering new ideas through existing knowledge. So instead of learning something that happens to students, it's something they actively build on. One of the biggest ideas in constructivism is that learning is active. The textbook explains that meaningful learning is the active creation of knowledge structures from personal experience. So students aren't just receiving information, they're building it through experience. Prior knowledge. Another key idea is prior knowledge. Students make sense of new information by filtering new ideas through existing knowledge structures, also known as schemes. This connects to Piaget, where students assimilate and accommodate new information. So learning isn't just adding knowledge, it's also reshaping it. Social constructivism. Constructivism is also emphasizes learning through interaction. The textbook says social interaction and the negotiation of understanding with others can help learners construct knowledge. This is called social constructivism. Students build meaning through their discussions, their collaborations, and just hearing different perspectives. What our book also calls negotiating meaning. Jerome Bruner expanded this idea through discovery learning. He believes students should discover how ideas relate to each other and to existing knowledge. Instead of just being told answers, students learn by exploring and problem solving. The textbook even says learning happens when students are figuring out how to use what they already know to go beyond what they already think. Real world learning. Constructivism also focuses on real world learning. The textbook explains that authentic problems provide realistic context that contribute to the construction and transfer of knowledge. So learning becomes more meaningful when students can connect it to their own real life. A constructivist classroom. This is what it actually looks like in a classroom. The textbook says teaching starts from a student's current understanding. Teachers figure out what students already know and they build from there. Students are engaged in complex, meaningful, problem-based activities and have opportunities to discuss and debate amongst themselves. And the goal is for students to learn to think for themselves. Student ownership. Another part of constructivism is self-regulation. The textbook explains that self-regulation by learners is a key to successful learning. This means students take control of their own learning, they're not passive, and they also become active participants in their own growth. So when you look at all of this together, constructivism completely changes how we think about teaching. Students are not empty containers just waiting to be filled. They are actively building meaning through experience, prior knowledge, interaction, and real-world problem solving. And honestly, that's the kind of classroom I want to create, one where students don't just memorize, but they actually understand.